more plus and own your future this exam season. Bioplus for physical energy and mental vitality.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso and you're live in S3. And you know what? We feel for you. We really do. When it comes to any sort of stress, we got your back. And life is filled with challenges, but you are living proof that you can succeed. And today we finish our last piece of the Bioplus success puzzle with those who have the first-hand experience we need in this conversation on coming out on top during the exams and test season. And we sit down with top academic achievers. We got Tristan Gerard is here, a registered psychological counselor. We got Kumo over here, a life coach and a psychometrist. My word, when last time we had somebody like that on the show? Jamie is here as well to explore this idea. And of course, we just need to chat through what this entire thing is about. We've had so many great segments, but of course, we have to kind of wrap things up here. So just to think about stress itself. By the way, stress is happening right now. You're live on national TV. There's that stimulus of like the unknown and you're thinking you're not sure what the outcomes are of this conversation. And surely that builds a bit of stress, doesn't it? So, you know, just in terms of handling that, I think that's the first sort of stage of really understanding the type of stress that you're under, isn't it? Yeah. That's how we start. So whoever wants the first thing about understanding your stress, I think let's start there as a platform for the other conversations. And also welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Thank you.
Hey, this is amazing to have you. So, in a nutshell, understanding stress, you know, and identifying what type of stress you're under. Let's go around the room for a second, starting with you.
I mean, you really just need to figure out how to calm yourself down, I think, because everyone feels stress all the time, obviously.
Definitely.
So, I mean, different things work for different people, so you really need to just, you know, find a way to relax, like right now.
Are you feeling, what are you doing? Where are you going now to relax in your head?
Just, you need to find your happy place, I guess, as people say.
Oh, my God, that's perfect. And then let's go about understanding the type of stress that you're under, because there are different versions.
Yeah.
You know, so how do you identify and like, okay, fine, this is what I'm going through. Let's have a plan of attack, so to speak.
Yeah. So you can anticipate that. You know, exam stress is very, very normal during this time. And so having some nerves is very normal. You want to have a look at what is it about the stress that is actually worrying me. I think the anxiety around exam stress is different for different students. I think it could be, am I going to get the marks that I want? Right, so with our matrics writing now, they are thinking around, I want to get into the university of my choice. Right, so performing well is a pressure point, right? So how do I handle actually working out a schedule? And that usually helps to decrease a lot of anxiety. So can I actually have a plan of action so that can help me to contain my anxiety? And then you go, what do I do to actually unwind, to outside of the studying period? What actually Tristan mentioned, find your happy place. Find those things that really actually relax your nerves so that you can actually reboot and have some mental energy to focus.
So let's go ahead for a second, because not all stress is bad, right? So let's talk about that for a second, about, you know, identifying bad stress from good stress and what to look out for when you have an episode of good stress versus bad.
Yeah, and I think it's very important to look at the types of stress and what thoughts you are experiencing in that time. So if you're feeling it feels like too much work, remember to remind yourself to say that this is something I'm thinking, but I can keep trying. I can change that thought pattern into something positive. So the stress can be transformed into something that can actually invigorate me or energize me. So to always try and almost rephrase your stressful thought patterns and deep breaths. Always remember to take a deep breath when you're feeling quite stressed, a few deep breaths and keep going.
Yeah, apparently an oxygenated body is a calmer body, which is very, very important. You see, even I taught you something. I feel like I'm part of the panel. It's fantastic. So, talking about happy place, I think we need some words of encouragement for any grade 12s, you know, working out the balance of the exam period. The happy place you speak of, how do you actually go there? I think let's start there for like a little encouragement for any grade 12.
Well, yeah, I think obviously number one, just stay calm.
Yes.
You know, when you're studying, you know what you need to do at the end of the day.
That's correct.
Right? So just find what methods work for you, identify some problem areas and work on them. Just stay focused on what you actually need to do. And if you work your hardest, then at the end of the day, you should be proud of yourself regardless of the marks, just in terms of your preparation stay calm, because there's no point in stressing about the marks that are going to come later, you know? Just do everything you can.
I think that's a very, very, very good word over there, because I think some people would love to put their minds, and they jump into their minds, and they kind of get locked up there. And I think that's so important for them to jump out and say, set the smaller goals. Today I calmed down ahead of this big exam. Today I got through a big chapter, and I'm happy about that. It's so good to have that reward system in you. That way you can calm down a little better. Kumo, from your side, any words of encouragement for a grade 12 who's stressing out right now? Got so much to do. I haven't eaten anything. I didn't sleep well last night. What do I do? What would you say to them?
Well, firstly, your brain is only going to do so much if you don't feed it, right?
Yeah.
So you mentioned you want to be oxygenated, you want to be able to be well rested, because that actually helps you to focus and retain information much better, right? And so I want to really start with the know thyself. I think a lot of students compare themselves a lot. For some people, success for their exams looks like, I went through exams, never had a panic attack. And for me, that is having to do well because I got through a very difficult moment. And so identifying what your learning style is, right? So there's different kinds. Some people are kinesthetic learning style. Some people are auditory, visual. What works for me, and how can I find strategies that can actually work best for the kind of style that works for me? And then you work at your own pace, right? So there's techniques like your Pomodoro technique that really just helps, and it helps with actually creating intervals between your study sessions. So instead of doing a whole long cramming session, which doesn't help, and a lot of students do your last minute kind of studying, have a plan, have intervals where you can actually create pauses, because that actually can make you think of different ways to answer your question or how to actually read through some things. And then you go, what system works for me and how can I implement it?
Wow. And then in a nutshell, from your side, grade 12s, like if you would give a pearl of wisdom, what would yours be?
Absolutely, just never give up. Keep going. You never know if the next question that you're going to study might just be the answer that you need in the test exam. So keep going and don't give up.
Lovely. You three are incredible, you know that, eh? You went to your happy place no matter what. The stress of this moment on national television kind of overwhelmed you. They were not overwhelmed. Calm, collected, like you should be if you are indeed writing your final exam. Share this information with a fellow student to ensure they have the tips they need to get those A+ results and stand a chance to win 2,000 Rand cash with Bioplus. And here's how to enter.
A go-to for physical energy and mental vitality when you need it most. Bioplus is going one better, offering 6 viewers the chance to each win 2,000 Rand cash to own their future. Catch Expresso weekdays from November the 6th to November the 22nd and reply to the competition post on Expresso's socials and include the hashtag BioplusExam. Competition closes November the 22nd. T's and C's on expressoshow.com.